Hello and welcome to the Green Room with Monique McDonald. I'm super excited that you're here with me today. Today, we are going to be talking about what it means to be called as a speaker. And how do you know if you are called to be a speaker? I am so excited to talk about this. This is one of my favorite subjects. And if you didn't know, I have an invitation to meet you in person in the green room on Zoom. So, for the next 15 minutes or so, I'm going to be talking to you about uh, being called as a speaker, and I would love to hear from you what your ideas are. If you have any questions, if you have any questions for me as an international Grammy nominated, award winning speaker and singer, I would love to answer any questions that you have and get to know you. One of the most important things that we do as speakers is connect. We have to learn how to connect to our audience. So you will see a link below this video where you can come into the Zoom room, the green room on Zoom with Monique. And it is going to be 1:30 Eastern and 10:30 Pacific. And I look forward to hearing from you and connecting with you later. All right, so let's get started. How do you know if you're called to be a speaker? It's one of the most interesting things that I talk to with my clients, because most of us feel that we don't have anything really special to say. And why would anybody listen to us? That imposter syndrome that rears its ugly head so often. And last week we talked about imposter syndrome and how to deal with it. But one of the things that I was working with my clients in my Unleash Your Authentic Voice class was this idea that we have been taught that unless our life is perfect, or unless we are perfectly schooled in whatever our subject is, we don't feel qualified to speak. We feel that because things aren't perfect, we stop ourselves. We stop ourselves with indecision, or we tell each other, I don't know how to do this. That was one of mine. One of my biggest stumbling blocks as I was building my business, training speakers, and as a speaker myself, was I just kept telling myself the story that I didn't know enough about it and I didn't know how to do it. And so that would stop me from going live and having these moments where I could talk to people about what I do and why I do it. Or, to do a webinar, or to do my first 3-day event, or whatever it is. I want you to think about it right now. What is the thing that you are not doing because you don't feel you're good enough or perfect enough to share with the world? If you are a heart-centered entrepreneur, if you are someone who knows they have a message to share that could transform lives, what's stopping you from getting out there and sharing it? For some of us, it's the idea that, who am I to be speaking? For others of us, we feel that what we have to offer isn't good enough or valuable enough. So I have a secret for you. To a third grader, to a student that is in the third grade, a fourth grader is a god. You don't have to be on the other side of your transformation. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have letters after your name. You just have to be a little further on the path than the people that you're going to be working with. So, how do you know if you're called to speak? How do you know if you're called to be out in the world making an impact? Here's the truth. You know you're called when you have the desire to do it. If you are doing it, even in a small way, even if it's only 1-to-1 right now, and it's not yet 1-to-many, it means you're called to do it. And what I mean by called is there is a force within you that is propelling you forward into expressing your message, into helping people by speaking your truth to them, by knowing that you have something within you that could help another person, could ease another person in this very challenging, beautiful, messy thing that we call life. If you are called, you must. If someone hands you a mic, speak. Speak your truth. Stop wondering about it. Stop telling yourself lies that you're not good enough or valuable enough. If your heart is telling you it's time to share your life experience so that you can help another, that means you are called to speak. And when you get clear on what your message is, when you speak, it will be like your voice has the quality that attracts the right and perfect people who need to hear you today. Now, I'm not going to lie, it takes work and it takes courage to stand apart from others and speak from your heart. But what I've discovered in my work, the need to be of service became stronger for me than my fear of rejection. The need, the desire to help others and empower other voices to speak their truth, to unleash their authentic voice into the world so that people's lives can be changed by their message. My need to help people do that became stronger than my own fear or indecision about whether or not I was good enough or valuable enough, or if I knew what I was doing, or if what I was doing was perfect enough to be seen by others. So today, I want you to get really still and take a deep breath and ask yourself, what is the thing that stops you from creating the class or speaking your message into the world, or getting on a live stream and sharing your thoughts and ideas and the things that you are an expert in? What stops you? Is it fear? fear of what people will think about you? Is it indecision caused because you think you don't know what you're doing, or you're not, what you are doing is not valuable? Is it because your story isn't good enough? Your life story, the things that you have experienced in life, that they're not good enough? Well, today I want to challenge you. Speak about the things that you're the most worried about or ashamed of. Speak about the things that you're terrified people might find out about you. And I invite you to take this challenge, because inevitably you'll find that when you have the courage to do that, others will see you and think to themselves, oh my God, I feel that way too. And if he or she had that, and they're out there speaking and living life and living their dreams, successful, and they had that, maybe I can too. I am participating in an event with Suzanne Evans, and that's one of the things she was talking about. And I realized that the stories that we keep to ourselves because they ended badly, or um, they were things that we might be ashamed of, those are the very stories that connect us to each other. Like, one of my most scary moments was when I went out to do the concert of my dreams and I had no voice. My voice failed me. And it was the biggest nightmare. It was the thing I was dreading my whole entire life as a singer. Oh my God, that dream. What if I get out there on stage and my voice fails me and it doesn't work? Well, that happened. And I was embarrassed. I felt ashamed. So many people had worked so hard to create this opportunity for me to sing, and I felt that I let them down. And I almost broke my voice trying to push past my limitations in order to deliver the concert that night. And it brought up all of my shame and all of my embarrassment and all the reasons why I shouldn't be out there doing what I do. Because, my God, what if this happens again? How am I ever going to sing in public again after having this experience of not being able to sing at all? And my friends, I want you to know that was one of the lowest points of my life. And it was also one of the greatest heights of my life, because I conquered it. I got back up on the horse, and just a few weeks later, I had one of the most successful concerts of my life. And it was at the Royal Theater, the Royal Castle in Madrid, and it was out of doors, and it started to rain. And the people in the audience, instead of leaving, they were so taken with what I was doing. They sat and put their programs or their whatever they could on their heads, and they stayed, even though it was raining. And I was the voice that night. So I want to leave you with one of my favorite verses from the Bible. It's Isaiah 6:8. And it goes like this: I heard the voice of the Lord saying, who shall I send? Who will go and represent us? And then I said, here I am. Send me. I will be the one. Will you be the one? Will you have the courage of your message? The courage to say the things that only you can say because of your own life experiences, the good and the bad? I hope so, because the world is in need of strong, authentic voices now more than ever. So I invite you, step up, step up out of your fears and doubts. Take the mic and be the voice that we all need today. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the green room on Zoom at 1:30 Pacific, 1:30 Eastern or 10:30 Pacific. I'll see you there. Bye-bye.